What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we need to look at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. And we also need to talk about the new information that came out from the Feds as of yesterday. If you guys are not paying attention, the Feds just released their new rate hike, which is another 50 basis points added to the federal funds effective rate, which means mortgages indirectly and credit cards and personal loans and car loans are all going to be going up, in the next coming weeks, making it even better for your holiday shopping. Just what we wanted, right? But they do have good reason for that, and that's because we still have a 7% inflation year over year, which is absolutely horrendous and terrible. But we are now approaching interest rates that were near the 08-09 housing market crash, which is definitely something we have to talk about. But moving forward here, and I was saying that even with the movements we are seeing within most of these major cryptos, I do have a bearish bias. Now, I was saying the fact that we could potentially swing bullish, although we did get stopped out on our crypto trades here, which is totally fine if you ask me, but I am now sticking with my guns here and sticking with this there's like two guys on my shoulder. There's a devil, which is saying, we're going bullish, and the angel, which is saying, no, we're going bearish, So I'm going to stick with the bearish sides of things, because the reaction we got from the interest rate, from the inflation data was good for a couple of hours, and now we're right back down to where we were. I need to do what's best for me, and I'm just telling you guys what I think is best for me, and you guys do with that what you will, but I just have this strong inkling that we're most likely going to be heading lower here, and I have to prepare myself, and if that prepares you, then just, listen, take my advice, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, do your own research and figure it out, but I'm just letting you guys know here. But XRP does not look good in any way, shape, or form for a bullish run. Ethereum does not look good in any way, shape, or form for a bullish run. Same thing with Bitcoin and the S&P. So I am still sticking with the fact that we are going to be heading down very soon, and that really is not all around fun here. We also have to talk about the federal fund rate. Fed raises interest rates half a point to a highest level in 15 years. If you remember, last time this was in 08 and 09, around that time here, exactly that time actually here, which we're currently battling with now. It doesn't feel like we did in 08 and 09, but it's definitely weird. It's definitely a weird time to be in. The fact that everybody is facing, this is now the second time in my life that I am facing two major recessions. It's pretty incredible if you ask me, but consider this. Recessions like we see usually come once every 15 years, and guess what? This is now pretty much signaling this is the bottom. And I want to show you guys good news moving forward here, because you really have to have a long-term vision and goal of these markets before you trade. Otherwise, guys, today's video is brought to us by CoinLedger here, a continued sponsor on the channel. As you guys know, cryptocurrency taxes is coming up. Tax season is coming up as the year closes very soon. If you have not done your cryptocurrency taxes, you're going to have to do that. I do have an accountant I can recommend if you leave a comment down below. But CoinLedger helps your accountant and helps you put all your trades, your profits and losses together, and they're just absolutely incredible. But more information about them later. With that being said, smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's dive into today's episode. So guys, first things first, I just want to briefly talk about what's going on here. We're going to talk about cryptocurrency, towards the latter part of today's video, which I know is going to piss some of you guys off, but so be it. I know a lot of you guys do appreciate me talking about this, because this is relevant and this is real here. But the Feds raise interest rates half a point to the highest level in 15 years. The Federal Reserve continued to battle against inflation by raising its benchmark rate to its highest level in 15 years. The FOMC committee voted to boost the overnight borrowing rate to half a percentage point, taking it to a targeted rate between 4.2 and 4.5%. Along with the increase came an indication that officials expect to keep rates higher through the next year, with no reductions until 2024, which goes with my prediction that we're not going to see much change and much recovery. We will actually recover, but I think by 2025, we should start to see the stock market back to where we saw all-time highs. That's my prediction, if you ask me here, and I'll explain in a second here. What the Feds raised on Wednesday, its benchmark rates, as we explained. I just want to show you the chart here. You can see the federal funds target rate since July of 2006 here. You can see in 2007, we were at a high of, here it is, 5.25%. You can see we're past the 2018 China tariff tax that we had, that crazy stuff, which caused us to raise rates, as well as right now where we currently are, we're at 4.375, and we're going up to potentially 4.5, and eventually into next year, we'll probably see rates, I'd say by the middle of next year, will be closer to 5 to 5.5%. And then from the middle of next year to the middle of 2025, we're going to flatline. So we're going to get the rates to about 5.5%, the same time we were at during the previous recession here. And then they're going to peak it. This is my prediction. So they're going to keep raising this every couple of months up to about 5 to 5.5%, maybe 5.25%. And then they're going to stop midway through the year. So January, February, March, April, May, June. Maybe by June, we're going to flatline out. And they're not going to touch anything come a year, and they're going to leave it alone for a year, and then they're going to start scaling it down towards the end of 2024 into 2025, and that's when we're going to start to see the market start to rebound and really start coming back up. But the markets will be projecting and moving up much earlier than that, because usually the stock market recovers before the recession is over. That's usually what happens here. But that's really what I wanted to show you with this. I want to give a huge shout out to CoinLedger for sponsoring today's episode. As with all cryptocurrency projects, please do your own research. With that being said, CoinLedger is not your typical run-of-the-mill meme coin. It's actually a cryptocurrency and NFT tax software that's built to save you time and maximize your refund. With tax season right around the corner, you might want to listen up. Now, believe it or not, my accountant who does my cryptocurrency taxes recommended me to use a software like CoinLedger to help track my portfolio. Let me be the first to tell you, manually balancing all your trades is tremendously difficult and takes hours of your time. Trust me, I've tried, been there, done that. With CoinLedger, that process takes only minutes using their software, and your accountant will appreciate you doing this. Some of you might not know, but CoinLedger helps you take advantage of your crypto tax loss harvesting, which lets you claim losses on assets in order to use those losses to offset your capital gains, thereby lowering your tax burden at the end of the year. Also, guys, make sure to ask your accountant, but I'm pretty sure there isn't even a wash sale rule yet on cryptocurrency, which is quite beneficial. The best part is CoinLedger is completely free to use. You can import all your crypto transaction history, view your net capital gains and losses, and even track your portfolio. Payment is only required when you want to download and view your full tax report, and payment is broken down into 4 different tiers depending on the type of trader you are, and all reports are a one-time purchase per tax season. They're even giving away a $300 tax report each week of the tax season, which you can enter down in the description of today's video. Now, in the eyes of the IRS, cryptocurrency is considered to be property, and capital gains and losses need to be reported on a Schedule D and Form 8949 if necessary every year. And if you're trading on a centralized exchange like Coinbase or Binance, then you have no choice but to report it. If you don't know, Coinbase reports all your cryptocurrency transactions to the IRS before the start of tax filing season. And as a Coinbase customer, you'll most likely receive a 1099 form if you pay US taxes and earn crypto gains over $600. And it's up to you to prove if those gains were actually losses or if they were actually gains. Now, this is where CoinLedger comes in. They will calculate your crypto taxes in 20 minutes and provide you with the correct instant crypto tax forms. They support all exchanges, NFTs, DeFi, and 10,000 cryptocurrencies. And all it takes is 3 easy steps. First, you connect your exchange to their website and import all your transactions. You'll then preview your report, make sure everything is correct, and lastly, generate your report. It's literally that easy. CoinLedger integrates directly with your favorite platforms to make it easy to import your historical transactions. Whether you're trading, earning interest, or even buying NFTs, you'll be able to import your transactions and calculate your taxes with ease. They're even partnered with the largest tax preparation platform to make it easier than ever to report your crypto gains and losses. Your reports can be directly imported into TurboTax Online, TurboTax Desktop, TaxAct, and many other tax platforms. And even if you aren't from the US, you can still generate your crypto gains, losses, and income reports in your native currency. Then you can use those reports to complete the tax forms for your country. With that being said, CoinLedger is the go-to place when it comes to anything related to crypto taxes. And if you want to check out their website and use their software for free, then make sure to click the link down in the description of today's video. With that being said, shout out to CoinLedger for sponsoring today's episode, and let's get back into today's video. And what does this have to do with anything? Well, if we take a look at the S&P, we raised rates to 08 and 09 and we caused this major drop. And as you guys know, we're pretty much coming to an end of that. But you'll notice here what usually happens after they're done raising the rates. So by 2010, the rate hikes were over here. I had it before, but you can see 08, 09. This is when the rates were extraordinarily high, caused this major drop here. I think we've already experienced that drop, hopefully, but it's possible we could see a little bit more. But regardless, after that, you can see from 2009 onwards here for 15 years, it's just been up. So we're in the right track, and these drops happen once every like 15 years. You can see this one, and here we are with another one. And I think this is going to cause for another 15 years of just beautiful recovery and swings to the upside here. So I'm excited. I am putting my money in. But short term, I do believe we have a lot to come from, and I am still very bearish. And the fact that we had the inflation data come out, now we have the federal funds rate as of yesterday, which is probably what's causing this to drop a little bit. People are just, upset that things are continuing to drop up, but I am a strong believer that we are going to get rejected. We've talked about this day in and day out here, that this is going to most likely correct bearish. We have like 8 reasons to believe this is a bearish drop here. We had the beautiful downtrend as expected, causing an ascending fractal, which has a bearish bias. This is most likely going to cause us to send downwards. Not to mention, yesterday and the day before, we clearly rejected off some big problems here. Not only did we trade outside of this ascending fractal here, we had a beautiful purple downtrend that we broke bearish off. We got rejected, clear as day. We had a price ceiling rejected. We had this uptrend in white that we rejected here. Then I jumped to the weekly here. You can also see we've broken bearish outside on the daily. The relative strength indicator, this RSI, this uptrend here, we broke bearish from this, and it's good, most likely going to start to scale us down as we saw in the past here. That's what I'm expecting. But jumping to the weekly, and I'm trying to do this quick, you can see here we're intertwined right now with the moving average. This is the first time in a very long time we've gotten so close. I'm just scaling this back to maybe 08, 09 till we get a better look here. You can see we had a bearish cross right here. So it took a very long time. But we had this reversal right here, and then we did head lower. And then we could still be expecting this. I'm not trying to spread FUD, but regardless, much quickly after that, we started to immediately reverse up. So we'll see. It's very hard to predict whether that drop is over. I'd like to think that this drop is over, because the difference between 08 and 09 and now is we didn't dump hella freaking money into this. So we had this hella dump here of money and printing into it, unlike 08 and 09, and this is the drop that I think is the same, because you can see the drop that we had now has totaled out a drop of about 27.9%, a 28% drop. If we go back in the past year and look at the drop that we had, I know it's definitely higher here, but for example, you can see this drop was about, this is horrible, 57%. So there's a chance, obviously, we can continue to scale lower, but I do believe that we are going to be rejecting off this. You can see we're already rejecting off the moving average here, off the downtrend here. We're trading outside of the ascending fractal. Very big chance I expect in the next coming weeks something along the lines of this. The worst case scenario is a drop like this, which I don't expect to see happen. Something catastrophic would have to happen, and that would cause a drop of 39%, which would be insane. People still speculate this is possible, but I don't see it happening just this very second. But I do hopefully see a soft landing, and maybe the lowest point we go to is a double bottom here, and then we can start to scale up, because that would be beautiful, a beautiful recovery for this market, something like this, and then we can recover from here and start to trend inside this normally here. Again, I'll draw it out for you. So we come down here, maybe here by 2023, July, mid-July, and then we can start to like slowly recover. And as you can see, by 2025, mid-2025, we're practically at all-time highs as we were here. And this is a normal recovery. The worst case scenario, we mega dump like this, which I don't see happening, because this is what happened during COVID. I don't see that happening, but I think a soft landing like this, a double bottom, and then a reversal is the ideal scenario that I'd like to see play out. But I think we'll be, regardless of how we play out, I think by 2025, mid-2025, we'll be back near all-time highs, which means moving forward now, this is the year, 2023, I'd say now until mid-2023 is going to be the buying opportunity in my eyes, which is why I'm waiting, because I do believe this drop's going to happen. This is going to influence and cause cryptos like Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP to drop lower. I am a strong believer that we are going to see XRP reject off this resistance, as I've explained 10 times over here. We are in a massive descending fractal, a massive descending triangle, which has done nothing but reject consistently off this purple band here. Every time we attempt, we reject and we fall lower. It's happened 5 times now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Here we are with the 6th attempt, which is most likely going to cause a correction. As I've said before, the only way I, in any way, shape, or form, in touching XRP to buy in is if we can confirm closing a weekly candle above here, which, as you can see, is not looking too good right now. If we close this weekly candle where we are currently, on Sunday, we have about 3 days left. There's a good chance we are going to fall down to 30 cents, if not lower. But if by some stroke of luck we can confirm closing closer to 45 cents, 43 to 45, I will be buying in the blink of an eye, because I do expect to see a pretty substantial rally. I do see a very substantial rally up to about 75 cents as the median here, which would be incredible. But who knows what's to come? That's what we're waiting for patiently. But I am a strong believer, and I have a bigger bias towards a correction than a reversal. in any way, shape, or form. And this is going to, pull over, and there's a good chance that because I believe the S&P is going to be heading down, that it is going to be pulling other cryptos. So the S&P heading down on the weekly will pull Bitcoin, obviously XRP, but Ethereum and Bitcoin with it. You can see we're starting to break back inside the sideways channel here, which at this point is just edging and waiting to break bearish at this point. And the same thing is applying itself with Bitcoin, which I also believe, which we did get stopped out at, is going to be breaking bearish, because I've said this bearish drop and this ascending triangle has a bearish bias, this ascending fractal here. And the fact is we are reversed right back inside of it, and there's a good chance we're going to correct downwards from here, which is going to suck, but I do expect that to happen here. But otherwise, that's it for today's video. Definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, smash the like button, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.